Hello, my friends. I'm so happy to be able to spend this time with you. Hello, Jonah. Hello, Johanna. Hello, Gideon. Hello, Noah Cutler and Noah Spears. Hello, Lincoln. Hello, Rachel, Zoe, and Shepherd. I hope you've had fun opening up and looking at the activities I sent home for you. And I hope you continue to explore and learn at home with your parents and your brothers and sisters. In science, we're going to be talking about amphibians. What I'd like you to do is find out as many different animals that are amphibians and what their names are as you can. And then I'd like you to find out why they all belong to the same amphibian family. I'm going to give you a head start today during story time. I'm going to introduce you to two of my favorite amphibians named Frog and Toad. Now let's see what they're up to today. The first story that we're going to read about Frog and Toad is called Spring. Now, just before we left for March break, I told you that when we came back from March break, we were going to change our classroom calendar to the season of spring. We were going to take out the winter card and put in spring. I hope that you've been able to look at your calendar at home and see that it's spring on your calendar. Maybe you could circle that day, the first day of spring. Back to our story. Frog ran up the path to Toad's house. He knocked on the front door. There was no answer. Toad, Toad, shouted Frog, wake up, it's spring. Blah, said a voice from inside the house. Toad, Toad, cried Frog. The sun is shining. The snow is melting. Wake up. I'm not here, said the voice. Dope. Frog walked into the house. It was dark. All the shutters were closed. Toad, where are you? Called Frog. Go away, said the voice from a corner of the room. Toad was lying in bed. He had pulled all the covers over his head. Frog pushed Toad out of bed. How would you feel if you were asleep in bed and your mom and dad asked you to get up, but you didn't, and they rolled you out of bed onto the floor? Well, I think Toad woke up when Frog pushed him out of bed. He pushed him out of the house and onto the front porch. Toad blinked his eyes in the bright sunlight. Help, said Toad. I can't see anything. Don't be silly, said Frog. What you see is the clear, warm light of April. Now, we're not quite at April yet. We're almost there. We have about another week of March left before we're going to change our calendar from the month of March to the month of April. It means that we can begin a whole new year together, Toad. Think of it, said Frog. We will skip through the meadows and run through the woods and swim in the river. In the evenings, we will sit right here on this front porch and count the stars. Have you ever been outside at nighttime and looked up at the stars? Do you think you could count them all? Well, Frog and Toad were going to try. You can count them, Frog, said Toad. I will be too tired. I'm going back to bed. Toad went back into the house. He got into the bed and pulled the covers over his head again. But Toad, cried Frog, you'll miss all the fun. Listen, Frog, said Toad. How long have I been asleep? You've been asleep since November. Can you imagine? He went to sleep in the fall, slept all through the winter, and woke up in the spring. And what do we call that? We talked about it before, didn't we? Hibernation. Well then, said Toad, a little more sleep will not hurt me. Come back again and wake me up at about past May. Good night, Frog. Do you think Toad's going to be able to wake him up? But Toad, said Frog, I will be lonely until then. Toad did not answer. He had fallen asleep. Frog looked at Toad's calendar. The November page was still on the top. Frog tore off the November page. He tore off the December page, and the January page, and the February page, and the March page. he came to the April page. Frog tore off the April page too. Then Frog ran back to Toad's bed. Toad, Toad, wake up! It's May now. What's it, Toad? Can it be May so soon? Yes, said Frog, look at your calendar. Frog had played a trick on his friend, Toad. It wasn't really May yet. Do you think it'll get him out of bed? Toad looked at the calendar. The May page was on top. Why, it is May, said Toad as he climbed out of bed. Then he and Frog ran outside to see how the world was looking in the spring.